Welcome to Sinful Scary Stories. Today's video features the top 10 extremely unsettling disappearances from Listverse. To have a person vanish out of thin air is extremely disturbing, but to have bizarre events surrounding the disappearance can make the situation even more unsettling. This list compiles 10 of the most unsettling disappearances that have occurred. The circumstances surrounding each disappearance are extremely bizarre, and many of the crimes have yet to be solved. Number 10. Jackie Sutton. Jackie Sutton was a passionate former BBC journalist who was working for War and Peace reporting to help local journalists in war-torn areas. 50-year-old Jackie Sutton had landed in Turkey from her London flight around 10 p.m. on October of 2015. Her connecting flight to Erbil, Iraq was scheduled to leave at 12:15 a.m. It was said that Jackie had spent some time in the cafe leisurely drinking a beer and reportedly fell asleep. At around 12:30, Jackie walked up to the counter in no apparent distress, only to be told that she had missed her flight. It's said that she suddenly started crying and saying she had no money to pay for another flight, but was told that nothing could be done. From there, the story takes a very odd turn. Jackie was entering the bathroom, and a few minutes later, 2 Russian women are seen coming out of the bathroom, visibly panicked. This is because they found the body of Jackie Sutton after committing suicide in a bathroom stall. While some have come to terms with the suicide, others believe that there had to have been foul play involved. Many of her friends say that she was an extremely happy and passionate person who would never have taken her own life, especially over something as trivial as missing a connecting flight. Even more mysteriously, it was found that Sutton actually had 2,300 euros in her bag, which would go against the fact that she had said that she didn't have enough money to purchase another ticket. She had spoken out previously about fear of being targeted by the Islamic State as her predecessor, Ammar al-Shambandar, was killed in a car bomb in Baghdad in May of 2015. Number 9. The Toronto Trio. The body of Philip Sitt was found in a wooded area of York Region on August 9, 2006, after disappearing in September of 2005. His killer was never found. What is so odd about this case is not just Philip's disappearance, but also the disappearance of his 3 friends, Eve Ho, Kevin Lim, Jackie Lee, that occurred on August 14th of 2006. Eve Ho had arranged to meet up with her best friend at the Eaton Center, but never showed up. Jackie Lee was last seen by her mother when she left her Scarborough apartment to go to work one morning. He called her later that day, but that is the last time she ever heard from her son. Kevin Lim was last seen by his grandmother as he went to the store to buy a drink. Eve and Jackie were dating at the time, and Kevin was Eve's childhood friend, but all 3 friends were friends of Philip. Now, what makes this disappearance even more odd is that Philip's mother was made public on August 25th, 11 days after the trio disappeared. The 3 are not considered suspects in Sitt's murder, and no leads have been given as to their disappearances either. Number 8. Craig Frier. Craig Frier was a well-built 17-year-old high school soccer player that vanished after walking into the woods on July 27, 2004. That day, Craig had been at the Cambridge Manor apartments where his girlfriend lived. His mother Veronica had gone to see Craig at Price Chopper, where he was working, but when she got there, she was told that Craig had just stopped showing up a while back. Confused, Veronica was able to get a hold of Craig to ask him what was going on. Craig had told her that he would be home to talk with her about it, but went to the Cambridge Manor apartments instead. 2 middle school boys last spotted him at 2 p.m. on July 27, 2004, walking along railroad tracks. It is reported that he put his finger to his lips, as if to make a shh gesture before walking into the woods, disappearing forever. Over 500 interviews have since been conducted with countless searches, and no leads or evidence has ever surfaced. Number 7. Timothy Pittman. Amy Fry Pittman took her 6-year-old son Timothy out of Greenman Elementary School on May 11, 2011 for a family emergency. 3 days later, his mother's body was found in a hotel room in Illinois, dead from an apparent suicide. With her body, a note was found stating that Timothy was safe with people who would care for him and that you'll never find him. Timothy was never seen or heard from again. His father, Jim Pittman, has no idea where Timothy could be, but hopes that he is safe somewhere. Amy had suffered from depression and previous suicide attempts, but nothing had ever indicated that she was going to disappear and take Timothy with her. Records show that she made several short phone calls from an unknown location. One call was to her mother, who spoke with both Amy and Timothy, neither appearing to be in any kind of duress. Surveillance video and receipts chronicled what the two had done in the 3 days before Amy's suicide. They were seen having fun and visiting zoos and water parks. On Friday, May 13th, the day before Amy was found dead, she was seen visiting a grocery store in Winnebago, Illinois, without Timothy. His location is still unknown. Number 6. Iana Wark. In 2010, Iana was a recent high school graduate planning to take a vacation to Spain while waiting to hear back from the university she had applied to. On the night of July 16, 2010, she went to a party with her friends at one of their places. Later that night, she went to a club in Sutton with her friend Adria and 3 boys she had gotten to know only the month prior. While at the party, there was an argument between the 5, though no one knows what this argument was about. Iana was seen running out of the club, visibly upset and going towards the seaside promenade. She did not have any money with her, and her phone battery was running low. Once sunrise began around 4 a.m., she began the 4-mile journey home from Seaside Boulevard, barefoot because her feet hurt from her new heels. On her way home, she texted Adria saying that she was angry that Adria didn't follow her out of the club. Adria later said that Iana called her and that they had settled the argument. A few minutes after 4 a.m., she called Adria for the last time to tell her that her phone battery was dying, where she was at, which is consistent with the CCTV footage, that she was a bit drunk and that she was headed to Adria's house. She said that she didn't want to meet Adria's mom drunk, but Adria said her parents weren't home and that she would leave the keys outside for Iana to come in. Adria had almost made it back to her house when talking to Iana and was walking past Iana's apartment. It was reported that Iana's stepfather heard Adria and Iana speaking because she had the phone on speaker. Surveillance footage at the Jeletico beach shows Iana walking and an unidentified man in a plaid shirt walking behind her with a towel on his shoulder. Investigators are now convinced that he did not have anything to do with her disappearance. It is most likely that Iana made it to the area she lived, but she never reached Adria or her house. That morning, her mother thought she was at Adria's, but Adria thought she went home because the keys were untouched. By 5 p.m. on July 17th, Adria and Iana's family came to the terrifying conclusion that Iana had disappeared. The police have since questioned over 100 people and offered a 1 million Polish zloty award, which is 270,000 American dollars, but nothing from Iana has ever been found. Number 5. Brandon Lawson. Brandon Lawson was a 26-year-old father of 4 from Texas who made a chilling 911 call in the early morning hours of August 6, 2013. He had apparently run out of gas near Bronte, Texas, and was walking in the fields along Highway 277. In the 911 call, he can be heard saying, "Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. Push some guys over. Right here going towards Abilene, on both sides. My truck ran out of gas. There's 1 car here. The guy's chasing to the woods. Please hurry." The operator then asks him if he needs an ambulance. His final words were, "No, I need the cops." During the call, he is clearly distressed and panicked, but no one is sure exactly what happened to him that night. Since the night he disappeared, there has been no cell phone or bank activity in any of his accounts. Number 4. Robert Horan. Robert Horan is a 33-year-old man from Virginia who left his house at 6 a.m. on April 8, 2011 to his job as an electrician for the state. 2 hours later, his wife's coworker said she had seen Horan's white Chevy Cavalier with the license plate Tarame heading north on the SR-53, completely out of the way. Worried, his wife Tara called his phone, but repeatedly got his voicemail. He never returned her call, out of character because he would always alert her when he had a scheduling issue. He never returned home and has not been seen since. Former coworkers did see him eating breakfast at the E.W. Thomas grocery store in Palmyra around 8 a.m., but that was the last time he was seen. What is even more odd is that Horan was not even scheduled to work that day, but left his house in his full uniform. 7 weeks later, his Chevy Cavalier was found in a Target parking lot in La Plata, Maryland, with all of his expensive tools still in the car. Police learned that he planned to meet someone in Palmyra that day, but never arrived. Horan was diagnosed with a heart condition, which he took daily medication for. He had missed his dose, and there's no indication that the prescription was ever refilled, but his doctor said he would have died in a week without it. To this day, the police are no closer to solving the case than they were in 2011, and Horan has yet to been seen or heard from again. Number 3. Kalin Loudin. Kalin Loudin was a 30-year-old social worker from Utah who was planning to spend her September 2014 weekend updating her resume and cleaning her condo. In the afternoon, Kalin was caught on surveillance tape taking her pug, Phyllis, for a walk. The next time she was seen on surveillance footage, Loudin is seen sprinting out of her home in the rain, completely barefoot and without any belongings. This was the last time anyone heard from her. The previous night, it was reported that Loudin had made an odd 911 call, stating that there was a brutal fight going on in the clubhouse at her condo that involved guns, but when police arrived, it was a calm wedding reception. An hour later, she called 911 and abruptly hung up. When dispatchers called back, she told them that her friend had said she was being delusional and paranoid. The morning of her disappearance, she made another 911 call to say that there was an intruder in her home and she could hear 2 people talking, even though her roommate said that the door was deadbolted and no one else was there. Weeks after disappearing, a body was found floating in the Jordan River that was identified as Kalin Loudin. Unfortunately, the autopsy was inconclusive. Lars Matan. July 2014 started out like any other summer break for 28-year-old Lars Matan of Germany, as he went to spend time with his friend at Golden Sands in Bulgaria. Golden Sands was known as a popular party spot for young people from Germany and England. While partying on the beach, he got into a fist fight over football with some of the other tourists. Matan sustained a ruptured eardrum and was advised by his doctor not to fly until it had fully healed. During that time, Matan got a room in a hostel located in the poorer part of town and told his friends to go back to Germany without him. After spending a night in the hostel, Matan became extremely scared and paranoid. His mother received a panicked text from him stating that he didn't feel safe, she should cancel his credit card, and that 4 mysterious men were following him. The doctor confirmed that Lars had gone to his office the next day, but when he arrived, Lars immediately jumped up and ran out. He soon went to the airport and is seen on surveillance footage walking through the airport with his luggage. Suddenly he walks off screen, then is seen sprinting the other direction out of the airport without his bags, jumping over the fence and disappearing into the forest. He was never seen again. His family confirmed that he didn't suffer from any mental illness, and they have no idea why their son would begin acting in such a bizarre and erratic manner. A massive search was launched to find Lars, but was unsuccessful.